An up-close look at a nuclear fireball. This film was shot at 2400 frames per second, 100 times normal speed. Even at that speed, we'll look at each frame individually to understand what's happening. This is an identical tower to the one being disintegrated in the video. It's 500 feet tall with steel stabilization cables. The towers were built to withstand very high winds. This test device weighed 2,325 pounds. This device was a 43 KT primary, just the first stage of a thermonuclear warhead. The Empire State Building in New York City is 1,454 feet tall. The fireball on a 43K nuke is 1,800 feet in diameter. If this nuke were detonated at the center line of the building's height, the entire building would be consumed by the fireball. With such a large fireball, there is no need to be precise about the placement of the nuke. The fireball will disintegrate the building and a very large area around it. The real nuke could fit in a vending machine. The blast wave will blow everything else to bits in an 8.5-mile diameter area. During the Kennedy administration in the 1960s, the Russians had a nuke in their embassy 3 miles from the White House. At frame 0, the fireball is already 234 feet in diameter. Nukes radiate heat, visible light, UV, but most of their energy produces X-rays. This film was only recording visible light. X-rays were the cause of the pusher tamper collapsing the lithium fuel. X-rays pour out of the fireball, turning the steel tower and cables into plasma, disintegrating them. The birth of a monster, a nuclear dragon. A plasma is a unique state of matter. These fanciful atoms are arranged in a simple pattern that represents a solid material. These represent a liquid or a gas. A plasma doesn't have atoms. The nucleus could be completely stripped of all its electrons. The high temperature of plasma keeps the electrons and nuclei moving and unable to recombine into atoms. When this finally cools, the elements will recombine into something that has no resemblance to the original object. A human caught by a fireball ceases to exist. No ashes, just elements like carbon and calcium combining to form some new substance. When a fireball hits the ground, it creates a tremendous amount of radioactive fallout. The fireball contains most of the radioactive fission fragments. A fireball at a significant altitude will disperse those radioactive elements, diluting them over a huge volume of air. Fallout is largely under the control of the bomb designers. Neither Hiroshima or Nagasaki produced even a small fraction of the fallout modern weapons produce. After the fireball hits the ground, several things change for the worse. Thousands of tons of earth are vaporized and mixed with radioactive fission products from the detonation. The shock wave begins moving across the surface. The fireball is the ultimate hot air balloon. It starts rising, pulling the radioactive debris up into the air after it. This forms the stem of the mushroom cloud. These are the 10 chapters in this video series. I will continue to release more videos and video series on this complex subject.